Welcome to our channel, where stories come alive. Today, we re-diving into the inspiring journey of Vinícius Júnior. Perfect for practicing your English listening. Let's get started. Vinícius José Paisão de Oliveira Jr. was born on July 12, 2000, in São Gonçalo, one of the most poverty-stricken cities in Brazil. His family of 5 lived in a small house with no furniture, often surviving on basic meals. But little Vinícius had something money couldn't buy: a ball, a dream, and relentless energy. At just 4 years old, he would play barefoot on the narrow streets, using socks or plastic bottles as footballs when he didn't have one. His father, Vinícius Sr., noticed the spark early and took him to a local futsal school in Flamengo. At age 10, he got a trial at Flamengo, one of Brazil's biggest clubs. He was too small, skinny, and quiet. The coaches almost turned him away, but during a 10-minute scrimmage, he scored 3 goals, dribbled past everyone, and even did a cheeky rainbow flick. One scout muttered, "This boy doesn't run with the ball, he dances with it." He was accepted into Flamengo's academy, and from that moment, his life began to change. His footballing career began in 2006, when his father took him to the branch offices of Flamengo, in the neighborhood of Mutua, in São Gonçalo, where he lived. His club document described him as a left-back. Hailing from a poor Catholic family, Vinícius went to live in Abalico with his uncle Ulysses, to shorten the distance to Ninho do Urubu, the vulture's nest. He started to receive financial aid from Flamengo as well as aid from entrepreneurs. Between 2007 and 2010, Vinícius attended futsal classes at Flamengo's school in São Gonçalo at the Canto do Rio, a famous club located in the center of Niterói. Flamengo noted his potential, and he decided he wanted to play football, not futsal. In August 2010, Vinícius had a trial to play for the Flamengo youth team, and he accepted an invitation to play for their football team. Before, in 2009, when Vinícius was 9, he took a futsal trial for Flamengo. He was asked to come back the following year. Vinícius debuted for Flamengo on May 13, 2017 as an 82nd-minute substitute in a Brazilian Serie A 1-1 draw against Atlético Mineiro. 2 days later, he extended his contract with the club from 2019 until 2022, with a significant salary increase and a buyout clause increase from €30 million to €45 million. This contract renewal was reported as being part of the transfer process of Vinícius to Real Madrid, an agreement reached between the two clubs in Gavia that week with an obligation to sell the young player in July 2018. On August 10, 2017, Vinícius scored the first professional goal of his career in a Copa Sudamericana second-round Leg 2 match against Palestino in a 5-0 win for Flamengo. He scored 1 goal, 30 seconds after being substituted on in the 72nd minute. On August 19th, he scored his first Brazilian Serie A goals for Flamengo in a 2-0 win against Atlético Goianiense. On May 23, 2017, La Liga club Real Madrid signed a contract to acquire Vinícius, effective after his 18th birthday on July 12, 2018, as age 18 is the minimum age for international transfer. He transferred for a reported fee of €46 million, which was at the time the second most expensive sale of a player in the history of Brazilian football, behind only Neymar, the largest amount received by a Brazilian club for a transfer, and the highest amount ever paid by a club for a footballer under the age of 19. He was originally scheduled to return to Brazil on loan in July 2018. On July 20, 2018, he was officially presented as a Real Madrid player. He was issued squad number 28. He made his debut on September 29th, coming in as an 87th-minute substitute in a goalless draw against Atlético Madrid. Vinícius made his first start on October 31st in a 4-0 Copa del Rey away victory against Melilla, contributing with assists for both Marco Asensio and Alvaro Odriozola in what Marca recognized as a man-of-the-match performance. He scored his first goal on November 3rd, 10 minutes after coming on as a substitute in a 2-0 victory against Real Valladolid. He scored 4 goals between his debut on September 29th and February 7th, 2019. On March 6th, he tore a ligament during a loss to Ajax, which ended his season. On December 11th, 2019, he scored his first UEFA Champions League goal in a 3-1 away win over Club Brugge in the 2019-20 season. On March 1st, 2020, he scored the first goal in a 2-0 win for Real in El Clasico against Barcelona. He made 29 appearances during the league season, while scoring 3 goals, as Real Madrid won the 2019-20 La Liga. On April 6, 2021, Vinicius scored 2 goals in a 3-1 win against Liverpool in the first leg of the 2020-21 UEFA Champions League quarter-finals. Real Madrid would advance to the semi-finals, where they lost to eventual champions Chelsea. Vinicius started the 2021-22 season by scoring Real Madrid's 4th goal in a 4-1 away victory over Alaves on the opening day of the La Liga campaign. On August 22nd, he scored a brace in a 3-3 draw against Levante coming off the bench, which earned him a first-team place, ahead of Eden Hazard. On October 30th, he scored twice as Real Madrid won 2-1 at Elche to go top of the La Liga table. The goals were his 6th and 7th of the league season and his 8th and 9th overall, surpassing his total output of 6 goals in all competitions during the 2020-21 season in just 14 matches. On May 12, 2022, he scored his first hat-trick for Real Madrid in a 6-0 victory over Levante. On May 28th, he scored the only goal in a 1-0 win over Liverpool in the Champions League final to clinch Madrid their record 14th UEFA Champions League title. Vinicius ended the 2021-22 season as Real Madrid's second-best goal scorer, with 22 goals in all competitions, only behind his attacking partner Karim Benzema. For his performances, Vinicius was named the inaugural Champions League Young Player of the Season and included in the 2021-22 UEFA Champions League Team of the Season. On February 11th, Real Madrid defeated Al Hilal 5-3 in the 2022 FIFA Club World Cup final as Vinicius scored a brace to claim the tournament's Best Player award and his second Club World Cup title. On February 21st, 2023, Vinicius scored 2 first-half goals to power Real Madrid's 5-2 comeback win at Anfield against Liverpool in the first leg of their Champions League knockout stage round of 16 tie. On May 9, 2023, Vinicius made a significant contribution to Real Madrid's performance in the first leg of the semi-final against Manchester City, scoring a remarkable long-range goal in the 36th minute. Alongside teammates Rodrigo and Karim Benzema, he created numerous opportunities, showcasing Real Madrid's counter-attacking prowess against Manchester City's dominant possession. The match ultimately ended in a 1-1 draw. However, in the second leg of the semifinal, Real Madrid suffered a crushing 4-0 defeat against City, thereby ending their campaign for the Champions League title. He was selected in the 2022-23 UEFA Champions League team of the tournament. In the aftermath of Hazard's departure, Real Madrid confirmed that Vinicius, who previously wore the number 20 shirt, would be sporting the club's iconic number 7 jersey, once worn by Cristiano Ronaldo and Raul, from 2023-24 season onwards. On August 19, 2023, Vinicius scored the decisive goal in a La Liga match against Almeria, contributing to Real Madrid's victory alongside teammate Jude Bellingham, who netted the previous 2 goals. On August 25, 2023, Vinicius sustained an injury to his right biceps femoris muscle during a league match against Celta, a game that Real Madrid ultimately won 1-0. On September 27, 2023, Vinicius made his return to play in a league fixture against Las Palmas after recovering from his injury. On October 3rd, he got his first Champions League goal of the season, netting the 1-1 equalizer in Madrid's away game against Napoli, which eventually ended in a 3-2 win. Real Madrid announced on October 31st, 2023, that they had extended Vinicius' contract until June 30th, 2027. On January 14th, 2024, he scored a hat-trick in a 4-1 victory over Barcelona in the Supercopa de España final. Throughout the month of March, Vinicius went on a rich goal-scoring run, scoring 6 goals in 4 matches across all competitions, including a brace against Valencia at Mestalla Stadium, and a tie-winning goal against RB Leipzig in the Champions League last 16 to help Real Madrid advance to the quarterfinals. On April 21st, he scored another goal against Barcelona in Real Madrid's 3-2 home win to help Los Blancos virtually seal the league title. On April 30th, he netted a brace in a 2-2 away draw against Bayern Munich in the Champions League semi-final first leg. Hence, he managed to score at that round for the 3rd consecutive season, in addition to reaching at least 20 goals in all competitions for the 3rd straight season. He then followed up this performance with another man-of-the-match performance against Bayern in the 2nd leg, helping Real Madrid win 2-1 and advance to the final. On June 1st, Vinicius scored in Real Madrid's 2-0 win over Borussia Dortmund in the 2024 UEFA Champions League final, winning his 2nd trophy in the competition. Aged 23 years and 325 days, he became the youngest player to score in 2 Champions League finals, beating Lionel Messi's record by 13 days. 2 days later, Vinicius was named the UEFA Champions League Player of the Season, registering 6 goals and 5 assists in Madrid's trophy-winning campaign. On October 22, 2024, Vinicius scored his first continental hat-trick in a 5-2 comeback win against Borussia Dortmund. He finished 2nd in the 2024 Ballon d'Or, behind Rodri. On December 17th, Vinicius was named the best FIFA men's player for 2024. The following day, he assisted Kylian Mbappe's opener and converted a penalty in a 3-0 final win over Pachuca, as Madrid were crowned the inaugural FIFA Intercontinental Cup champions. With this performance, Vinicius received the Player of the Tournament and Golden Ball awards. International career: 2015 to 2019. Success at youth level. On October 30th, 2015, Vinicius was called up for Brazil by coach Guilherme Dalladé for the South American U-15 Championship. Vinicius and Brazil won the U-15 title, and he was the 2nd top scorer of the tournament with 7 goals. He was named player of the tournament and continued to perform, which helped him convince Flamengo to sign him by the age of 16. On June 24, 2016, Vinicius was called up for a friendly against Chile U-17 and scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists in the 4-2 victory. In March 2017, Vinicius debuted in the South American U-17 Championship for Brazil with a goal in a 3-0 victory over Peru. In the final stage, he scored 2 goals in a 3-0 win over Ecuador and 2 goals in a 3-0 victory over Colombia, securing Brazil's place in the 2017 FIFA U-17 World Cup in India, where Brazil, without Vinicius, eventually would finish 3rd. After leading Brazil to win the South American U-17 Championship, he was named the tournament's best player and was top goal scorer with 7 goals. On February 28, 2019, Vinicius was called up to the Brazil national team for the first time for friendlies against Panama and the Czech Republic. However, he suffered an injury while playing for Real Madrid, and David Neres was called up in his place in March. In May, he was excluded from Brazil's final 23-man squad for the 2019 Copa America by manager Tite. The same year, on September 10th, he debuted as a 72nd-minute substitute in Brazil's 1-0 defeat against Peru. Vinicius was named in Brazil's 2021 Copa America squad by Tite on June 9, 2021, which was held on home soil. He made a substitute appearance in his country's 1-0 defeat against rivals Argentina in the final on July 10th. On March 24, 2022, Vinicius scored his debut goal for the national team in a 4-0 home victory against Chile in a 2022 FIFA World Cup qualification match at the Maracana Stadium. On November 7, 2022, Vinicius was named in the Brazil squad for the 2022 FIFA World Cup by Tite. In the opening group match against Serbia on November 24th, he set up Richarlison's second goal to help Brazil to a 2-0 victory. He scored his first FIFA World Cup goal in a 4-1 victory against South Korea in the round of 16 on December 5th, also setting up Lucas Paqueta's goal, helping Brazil qualify for the quarterfinals, where they were eliminated by Croatia 4 days later following a 4-2 penalty shootout loss after a 1-1 draw. On March 26, 2024, Vinicius served as captain of the national team for the first time in a friendly match against Spain at the Santiago Bernabéu, his club's home ground. At the 2024 Copa America, Vinicius scored his first 2 goals in the tournament in Brazil's second group match, a 4-1 win against Paraguay, also picking up a yellow card. He picked up another booking in his nation's final group match, a 1-1 draw against Colombia, which ruled him out of the quarterfinals. In his absence, Brazil were eliminated following a 4-2 penalty shootout defeat after a goalless draw against Uruguay. On June 15, 2023, Vinicius was selected by FIFA President Gianni Infantino to lead a special FIFA anti-racism committee. In 2021, he founded the Instituto Vinícius Júnior, an organization to facilitate access to school for Brazilian children and teenagers from disadvantaged neighborhoods. In 2023, he was awarded the Socrates Award. In 2024, UNESCO appointed Vinicius Goodwill Ambassador for Education for All. He is the second footballer after Pelé to become a UNESCO ambassador. Vinicius is a Roman Catholic. He runs a charitable institute in Rio, Instituto Vinícius Júnior, which aims to use technology and sport to educate young Brazilians and, ultimately, alleviate some of the education-related inequality in the country. In November 2024, he conducted a DNA test, which found out he had roots with the Takar people from Cameroon. Despite his success, Vinicius continued to face racist abuse in La Liga stadiums, monkey chants, hate signs, even attacks on social media. Instead of staying silent, he became a global voice against racism. He confronted officials, called out La Liga, and even launched an anti-racism foundation to protect future players. "I'm not just playing football," he said. "I'm fighting for my people." Now a key player for Brazil, Vinicius represents more than a country. He represents hope, resistance, and pride. From favelas to football's grandest stages, he is a symbol of what's possible when you don't give up. In his own words, "I'm just a kid from São Gonçalo who refused to let the world tell me I couldn't." If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share.